So with that done, let's just go back to the week that's coming up, week 5. And let's go over what's coming up. Okay, week 4, you're finishing out the quiz for chapter 11, right? And then you have week 5. Week 5, you have an exam due on Wednesday. Remember my advice before, make sure the Proctorio is working, take the exam ahead of time. I also have the announcement from last week that gives you the guide for the week, for the exam, and just some tips that I remember all the time when I try to take exams. Okay, just a matter of practice. It's good to go over that. Remember that it's over chapters 1, 2, 11, and 12. Okay, I've already provided the exam guide, so you should be able to review that. I'll also have office hours on Tuesday for those that have last minute questions. It is closed book, closed note, right? So whatever you can bring in your head is what's allowed, nothing more than that. Let's see, you can use scratch paper, but generally when you're doing the proctorial test, you want to show this scratch paper, right? Or your basic calculator, because it's videoing your exam testing workout. You can use Excel, okay? So that's why I typically bring up Excel on all the videos I do, so you can see how I approach it and what I do there. And then you can also use a calculator, okay? You won't see the correct answers. Now it says here that I will provide feedback. That's only if you want it. I'm not going to go through 40 different students in each class and run a report and send it to you unless you want it. There is a categorical review of the answers or how you did on the exam questions. It won't be specific to any one question, but as I mentioned before, I did post last semester a video where I reviewed the top, I think I called it 10. It may be plus or minus 10, but it's the top questions where students got around 50% or less right. Does that sound right? No. I mean, like, let's say 40% of the students got the question right. So less than 50% of the students got the question right is where I tried to tackle, because that seemed to be an area where there was greatest disparity in the learning that was being tested. So please look at that video. It's on the YouTube channel and I'll make sure if it's not there, it's under the week 5 playlist. That'll help give you a sense that they may not be the exact questions that you see this upcoming round, but they will give you a sense for the types of questions that are being asked and the type of workout that you have to do in those exams. And maybe they'll be the same in some cases and you'll get a little leg up. So don't forget to try those, to review that video. Let's see. Okay, so the other thing is you do have to use Proctorio, right? So if you're having problems with Proctorio, generally it's because your extension is not up to date or it's not installed, right? So you definitely need to make sure that Proctorio is working. If it's not, contact Proctorio directly. If you can't get it resolved with them, then you contact the BYU Testing Center. They are only open Monday through Friday till 5 p.m. So if you're doing this at 6 or 7 p.m., which is understandable, testing center is not going to help you. And quite frankly, if Proctorio can't help you, I can't help you either. And I am a stickler on getting these assignments done on time. So it's your responsibility to make sure Proctorio is working and that you can take the exam before the due date, right? Or before the 12 p.m. due date on Wednesday. Okay, and that's about it on the exam. If there's any questions, let me know. It should be open today for you to start taking the test. So you anywhere between now and Wednesday at Wednesday due Wednesday the 1st. I'm not sure why they haven't that is open till the 4th, but it is due on the 1st. Let me just double check that. Go to McGraw-Hill. Sometimes the due dates get a little funky, so we'll just verify that while we're here. Exam 1, yep, due on the 1st, February 1st. So let me just go over the policies with you real quick. Due February 1st at 11:59 p.m. That's effectively midnight on the 1st. You have 340 minutes to take the exam. Let's see. Questions are scrambled. So not any one particular question number is the same for everybody, but you all have the same questions. Only one attempt is allowed. No hints, no check my work, no ask the instructor. Yeah, you're on your own for 340 minutes to take what is, I think, 50 questions, 55 questions, or 100 points. So you need to manage your time, right? So if you got just one idea, if you got 340 minutes divided by 55, you can't be taking more than about 6 minutes per question. In reality, if it's taking you more than 2 or 3 minutes to answer a question, I would recommend moving on. Go to another question that you can answer quickly, and then keep on going so you maintain your pace. And then come back to the questions, note them down, and come back to the questions that you passed on, and then do those. And that way, you maximize the number of questions that you are able to complete in 340 minutes. It's a long time. I mean, 340 minutes, that's that's a little over 5 hours. So if you're taking 5 hours to take this exam, you're not prepared for it. It should really only take you about 2 hours at max. The reality is you could probably do it in about an hour on average, because some of the questions are, basically fill in the blank with, is something a debit or credit, and you put in debit or credit, right? Or it may be multiple choice, and so it'll give you a scenario, and they'll ask you, is something higher or lower than this, or what is included in what is not included, right, in these in I don't know, depreciation. No, I mean, it wouldn't be depreciation. It'd be what's a normal credit balance, right? And you might have to fill out the normal credit balance for specific accounts. So generally speaking, if there's 6 or 7 options on that one question, you may take 30 seconds and a minute or so to fill that out. There's others where you will take 2 to 3 minutes, but generally speaking, I always budget about a minute and a half on the exams I take to work through the problems. If it takes me longer than that, just move on. So you're in the hour to an hour and a half timeline to take the test. All right, so I think that's it on the test. If there's any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I think that, one last review.